decisions made at Bilderberg have impact on every human on this planet. When they decided to rig the price of oil to $140 a barrel, as they predicted a couple of years ago, with unfortunate accuracy, obviously it affects everybody. As we said before, the high cost of transportation from the raw material to finished product to the marketplace has a tremendous inflationary impact. Well, if I wasn't so humble, I would be tempted to boast about the fact that all of our Bilderberg stories have been confirmed by history. I don't make predictions, but I do report what Bilderberg's agenda is, what they're attempting to do. And unfortunately, they've done it with great success. We wrote an advanced story on the end of the Cold War, advanced story on the downfall of Lady Thatcher as Prime Minister of Britain. She attended one Bilderberg meeting. She didn't like it. She had nothing to say. She left. In the next Bilderberg meeting, they talked about how they've got to get rid of her. She was replaced by a trapeze artist named John Major from her own conservative party. Well, we're on the way to the Westfield's Marriott, where Bilderberg is meeting again after having met there about 5 years ago.
We are in Chantilly, Virginia, a bedroom community of Washington, D.C. at the Westfield's Marriott. Jim at other events has found bugs in his room. We are being followed by security. They're not even hiding it everywhere we go. When we get out our cell phones, they run up and make sure we're not using those to videotape.
What are you videotaping for?
Nothing, I was just looking around.
Do you have business up here?
No, not really. Just
okay. Why don't you come back up here with me? I just want to make sure I understand why you're videotaping our hotel.
I was just checking the place out. Is there a problem?
Yeah, there is a problem doing that.
I'm sorry, I'm leaving right now.
What were you videotaping it for?
Just because it's nice looking.
Okay.
It's a nice look.
Come on up with me. I just want to talk to our officers to make sure that...
I'd rather not. I really have to go.
Okay. Well, we'll check down to get you. Not a problem.
For what reason? I don't understand.
Just asking you to come up and explain to us why you're videotaping our hotel, that's all.
I was just videotaping outside. Is there a problem?
No, you were inside. I watched you.
No, yeah, I was inside. I mean... I don't understand. What did I do something wrong?
Just want to understand why you're videotaping our hotel, that's all.
Is there a law against videotaping a hotel?
Private property, sir. Do you have any business on this property?
Not right now.
Okay.
I mean, I'll leave if you want me to leave. Nobody asked me to leave.
I'm actually asking you to stay, but...
I mean...
If there's things you need, you know, if you need slicks or stuff like that at the hotel, I'm more than happy to provide that to you.
I don't know what a slick is. I don't understand what you mean. Like, what's a slick?
I mean, if you need, like, advertising photos and all that stuff. That's the kind of stuff you need.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice place. I mean, I do a lot of wedding events, stuff like that.
Okay.
So, I mean, I was just checking the place out. I don't understand what the
problem like is. I said, I just want to find out why you were videotaping.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you came at me like I was doing something wrong. I do a lot of wedding events, a lot of social events, a lot of events like that, a lot of conferences, stuff like that.
Do you have one coming up?
Possibly. I'm not sure.
Do you have your business card?
I actually don't have a business card. I do it freelance. So I actually have a full-time job also. So I kind of just do this as a side job.
Do you have your driver's license with you?
I mean, is there a reason why you need my driver's license?
Yes.
I mean, I'd rather not give it to you. I mean, I don't understand. Did I do something wrong? Or?
Well, you're on private property and you're filming out here, and we need to have
I mean, like I said, I'll leave if you need me to leave. It's not a problem.
I understand.
I mean, I don't understand. I didn't see anywhere that says no filming or anything like that.
Well, the thing is that you're on private property and you're here right now, and you're filming, and we would like to find out who you really are.
Who I really? Well, I mean, who do you think I am? I'm just.
So we don't know who he's asking for your driver's license.
I mean, that's the thing.
So
you're not
you provide the information to him.
Are you a police officer? Or?
So
if you want me to call the police, that could be arranged.
And they will be here within a minute.
I mean, I don't understand what the big deal is.
Do you have that information, sir?
Hey, how are you?
Can I help you?
I'm a guest here. I love this art. I'm just walking around. You guys have hidden paintings all over the place. And I'm astonished at the beauty of this place.
where I think I need to be.
How are you? I have a guest here. Who are you? I stay here. Thank you.
Part of your operation. He's been wandering around. I have seen him wandering around.
Yes, sir. How can I help you? Yes, I am. I'm a guest, sir. So,
Sir, I just wanted to know you are not allowed to take pictures of the hotel, okay?
oh, okay. Sorry.
Security strong this morning.
I see.
It will be for the rest of the week.
What's going on here?
Well, there's a conference that's they're pretty particular about it. So they don't mean to hassle you, but I will say it will get worse tomorrow. That's going to get a lot worse. So.
Tell us about the time that you found a bug in your room in Georgia.
I checked into the Bilderberg Hotel for Monday and Tuesday. Was told I'd have to leave by noon Tuesday, I think, that year. Then when I got to the room, I was assigned to something like 116 or whatever. Even as I was unpacking my other pair of socks, phone rings. I'm told, you said you want to stay here until noon Wednesday. We can arrange that if you'll just move down a few doors to room such and such. And so I said, yes, I'll do that little thing. Got the key to the room just a few steps further away. And as I started unpacking, the two sleuths started, they had a little gadget they were moving around. Then he turned over the couch, got out his knife, and pulled out a bug and handed it to me. He said, the telephone's also bugged, but we don't want to knock the plaster out of the wall. They alerted me to the fact that Bilderberg staff would be eavesdropping on every conversation. That left a little bit of fun too, because I would fake a conversation. I mean, I'd call the spotlight, and they'd use the joke and say that Senator Snort's bringing his daughter, thinks he's bringing his daughter down here for a birthday dinner on Sunday. He's going to be surprised. And they'd get all worried about Senator Snort is going to come, which is a outlandish lie. It's fun to keep them hopping up and down.
As American citizens, as free humans, we have a right to be here, to be covering what leaders from all over the world and the owners of the Fortune 100 and royalty, the Rockefellers, the Rothschild representatives, are doing. Jim, do you think that they're listening to us in here right now? I mean, they knew we got these reservations a week ago. Do you think they've planted something in this room?
Probably. They probably heard everything we said.
This is Mary property right here as far as this sidewalk and everything to the road. What we're going to do is push you back. You still can protest, whatever. I do not want anyone getting hit here. It's blocking the vision. It is an issue, a traffic issue and a pedestrian issue. I'm just going to push you back to where it's safe. Simple.
Well, where
it's not about it. It's my decision. It's a safety decision. It's on me. Okay? It's for your safety. No, it's not. You can protest and you'll go further with it, then you go further with it. I'm giving you the right to protest, but it's going to be done safely.
Well, you're not giving me the right.
Yeah.
You're upholding my right.
Okay, I'm upholding your right.
By the way, I get my rights from you?
No, I'm upholding
I thought I get it from God.
Okay.
Let's just be clear. You're not granting me.
Let's move back.
Once they're inside the palace, they don't show their faces until Monday morning. So the time to have your big demonstration is the day they're shutting down, when they're coming in and going out. But don't want to simply ignore the fact that some true bloods are still here today.
And you know you're committing crimes in the dark. That's why you cover your faces when you drive inside your tinted sedans. That's why you cover your faces with your coats when you walk in, or your faces with newspapers. Because you know you're committing crimes. You know you're organizing evil. You know you're carrying out war against humanity.
There was a Trilateral Commission meeting in Washington just 2 or 3 weeks ago, where much concern over the Ron Paul revolution, because it's permanent. It does not end with the campaign. And they were grieving over such facts that a new generation of future leaders are becoming nationalists. and nativists. That's an obscenity in the view of advocates of world government. And they're understanding the Constitution. We have lawyers from Harvard who do not want to understand the Constitution. So they always take the long-range view too, even though they know most of them will not live that many years. But how will the world be in 50 years? Well, they're afraid the world in 50 years, the United States will be filled with patriots who read newspapers and are knowledgeable. And some of the illiterate generations we've had for the last 40 years who grew up on the idiot box. As I've said so many times, I've met lawyers and physicians who never in their life read a book for fun. Fewer than half of adults in America today read even one newspaper, not several. If you read a newspaper today, you're a minority in America. It is close as 49 to 51%, but that's virtually tied. But it's still disturbing that half the adults do not read a newspaper. Oh, I'm well informed, they say. Yes, they watch the alleged newscast in the morning. Half of it's advertising. When you read a newspaper, you can skip the classified ads and go to the news page if you're not buying a used car. But when you're watching the idiot box, you have to go for a walk, smoke another cigarette or whatever until the ad is through, then they continue. So when they continue with the news, what is it? Giggling on the sidewalk. This guy's going to sing for us. This group is going to dance for us. Here's how to cook. Oh, by the way, several kids got killed in Iraq today. Now somebody's going to sing for us. I mean, it's just the silliest nonsense you could imagine. And to say, I stay well informed because I watch NBC News or any of that, ABC, CBS, whatever, in the morning. Oh, I'll take a shower.
Here you are having your dollar, your country's name, everything destroyed. We have their minutes, we have their documents, they designed it. Here you are out here, while they're giving you a check with one hand, and they're taking it all away with the other, as they turn this country into a third world cesspit. That is what we become. That is who we are, ruled by mafias that are completely looting this nation.
I've supposedly decided to release the list of who's at the meeting. Do you see this as kind of a victory?
Yes, I think it's because of protesters. Now, they've not kept that promise yet, and I hope they do. But their group called Friends of Bilderberg said that a list will be made available to those who require. Call this number. So we had several people call this morning. Oh, anytime between 9 and 5 days, and call shortly before 9. Promised it in 5 minutes. Promised it in 10 minutes. Now it's promised in several hours. Now that could be one of several things. It could be some of the Bilderberg insiders said, I don't want anybody to know I'm here. Don't put my name on it. So they have to redo the list. Then they may have to check with us to make sure. About 8:15 last night they decided to do this. And it was quite some hours.
Decided to do what?
To make the list available. Or at least they said they decided. Now, I'm very sure that were not for the protesters winning yesterday, making the owner of this place slink back down in the grass, down his rabbit hole, while the protests continue, that they would not have felt pressure to do this because, as usual, they told me at high noon yesterday, every year I go up and ask for the list so they can tell me no. I do it for the record so they can't say, he never did ask. I ask every year. I was told affirmative, no agenda, no press release, no list of participants. It was high noon yesterday. 8 hours later, they said they're going to provide the list. Without the protesters out here, that would not have happened. We still are counting heads. And we've identified Rumsfeld, Rockefeller, Queen Beatrix by sight.
Yep. Personally saw Harold Ford as well. There was
Who saw those people? Who actually identified those people?
we saw Wolf. I don't know if you were here yesterday when we saw Wolfowitz. Saw Harold Ford drive right in.
Okay.
He was gone, I think, when that.
In case we don't get to this, we are not 100% sure on that.
Yeah.
I need for you to write down for me everybody you've confirmed. I saw Queen Beatrix. That's because she's doing a girl thing.
Right.
They've suffered a bit in recent years because in the 1990s they were absolutely convinced that we'd have an American Union similar to the European Union by the year 2000. 8 years later, they're still pushing it, but they're behind their own schedule. Of course, this new North American trade agreement is part of the plot. The Intercontinental Highway linking Mexico, the United States, and Canada to be three countries without borders. Well, our borders are rather weak as they are, but officially without borders. Of course, it is to expand throughout the Western Hemisphere and evolve into the American Union.
What these police don't know is we've got the Bilderberg documents, how they put cancer viruses in the vaccines, with most of your mamas and daddies that these people murdered. What you don't know is they did engineer AIDS. Yeah, that isn't just Barack Obama's preacher saying that. That's a fact. Prince Bernhard, SS officer, founded this. This is a Nazi eugenics society. They are pledged to reduce the world's population. They see us as animals. You are guarding arch criminals.
One-child policy is obviously aimed at reducing the population on Earth, and of course with abortion and starvation and disease, they make great progress. In fact, some economists tell us that 1 billion people, 1 out of 7 million people on this planet are likely to die because of these policies. Well, Bilderberg never found a tax it didn't like. Carbon tax would be, well, their favorite world tax, though, it was taxing oil at the wellhead. So it'd be a direct tax for anybody who buys gasoline for their car, lawnmower, or for whatever purpose, be paying directly a tax to the United Nations. I have a source inside Bilderberg. He's very reliable. I could not identify him any further because he's sticking his neck out, putting his own life on the line to help us get the truth to you.
Tell us what they told you, if anything, about Iran. Is the attack on Iran on?
It's still pending. They had a very brisk discussion. It's interesting that Bilderberg's own list of participants left out the name of Defense Secretary Robert Gates, but he's positively identified entering here yesterday. The source inside Bilderberg reports that he made the case for war in the same propaganda style that's been conducted over the last several months. He talked about how Iran is a nuclear threat to the whole world, to all of mankind, and we must do something. He cited the name escapes me at the moment. I've got it, I'll have it in the newspaper because it's on the notes upstairs. But a former defense minister of Israel, who is a candidate for prime minister, said bluntly that Israel will attack Iran if Iran does not dispense with its nuclear weapons program, which Iran already has, but they refuse to recognize the fact that Iran has. Condoleezza Rice, Secretary of State, followed with her usual talk about how nothing, which means war, nothing can be taken off the table. But this was met with a great deal of dissent from the European Bilderbergs. Such questions as, why do you want to fight a war for Israel? Where does Iran hide its nuclear weapons? In Saddam Hussein's tomb? There's more banter of that nature, and the United States was simply told, if you attack Iran, it'll be a solo mission. Do not expect help from any of us, including NATO, if you invade Iran. So the dissent is there.
We have moles and sources inside every one of your meetings. We know Secretary of Defense Robert Gates came here and pushed for a premeditated illegal attack on Iran. We even know that large numbers of the Bilderberg group themselves know that they shouldn't do it. Not that they aren't criminal warmongers, but that they know it will bring the planet down against them. You are failing on every front. You have and you will be fully defeated. Yeah!
Well, the Defense Secretary always attends, as does the Secretary of Treasury, state high officials of the White House, and other government officials. The significance, of course, is the looming potential invasion of Iran. In 2002, then Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld tried to pacify the European Bilderbergers by saying there would be no war this year. And he was correct. It was March of 2003 before the invasion of Iraq took place. So the fact that there's no promise made not to do it this year, well, if he doesn't do it this year, he can't do it at all. He's out of office January the 20th. And I don't think any president wants to go to war on the 15th of January when he's going to be out of office on January 20th. So the significance is that the United States government is still holding out the possibility of invading Iran, and we can only hope that the Bilderbergs, European Bilderbergs, prevail in their pressure. It's quite unusual. All these years I've never known Bilderberg be significantly split over one particular issue. And this is also not to say the European Bilderbergs are the peacemongers and the Americans are the warmongers, because all other wars the European Bilderbergs celebrated.
Now again, this is a source inside Bilderberg?
Yes. Not our daily hourly conversation, but with a source at a particular hour during the day.
And this isn't your only source, though?
Yes, but he's, I can't document too closely, but he's quite knowledgeable about what's taking place.
And he doesn't like what's happening?
No. I can't identify him too closely because he's sticking his neck out to help us.
How dare you write in that Club of Rome document that you would use fake terror to take our liberties and freedoms away? How dare you? You know, people that work in these hotels, they'll never talk to us when we first arrive before you arrive. They're told that they'll be fired if they talk about what happens. But after they're told they can't look you in the eye or talk to you, after you treat them like crap, after you push them around, after they hear the evil stuff you're talking about, they always spill their guts and give us your documents, because they know evil scum when they see it.
Today they were raising the question of should we cap the price of oil at its present very high level. They're talking about we may have reached the point of diminishing returns because as Americans convert to small fuel-efficient cars, go to alternative transport commuting such as mass transit, buses, railroads, it may be less profitable in the years ahead for Americans to consume so much less, because Americans are the biggest consumer. So they're seriously considering capping the rise in oil prices. Now, capping the rise in oil prices when gasoline is costing $4 a barrel, $4 a gallon to Americans, does not make us feel real good. It makes us feel less bad than if it went even higher than it is now. So we can hope that they will at least go ahead and cap the rise in oil prices so that while it's a bad situation, it's not made even worse.
They own the major political parties. They own Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, John McCain. Can you speak to how they own these people?
Well, they always own both horses. The only candidate they don't own, of course, is Ron Paul. And he's got them very upset, as they were trilaterals. Their little brothers were equally upset because he's going to conduct an ongoing education program. And the fact that so many thousands of young people are turning out to his rallies and learning about the Constitution and how it's being defamed by the government and the Congress is doing violence to the Constitution, that's got their little knickers in a knot. But the fact that Ron Paul rallies are attended by thousands of young people, they're dedicated, they're fiercely loyal, and they're being educated on the Constitution and how the executive branch and the Congress, and in some cases the Supreme Court, are doing violence to the Constitution. And they see this as a threat in the years ahead as these young people grow older and more young people get educated. They're just afraid of an informed public. That's why the blackout on Bilderberg coverage in the first place by the kept press.
talking about the Bohemian Grove and trying to see what locals think about it.
You're talking about the Bohemian Grove, quote-unquote elite and presidential retreat.
I can't even begin to imagine what we're going to discover when I infiltrate tomorrow. What about the rituals? Have you heard anything about the rituals that go on?
Oh, there's all kinds of rumors about rituals. Oh no. It's politicians.
And now we're going to infiltrate.
I think we should go and see what we can see.
Do you worry for Alex, Violet?
I do. Alex gets so impassioned by what he's doing that sometimes I'm afraid that he might be a little too fearless.
Well, we're inside the Bohemian Grove.
Sets us free.